With more than 100 years of experience, Mitas is one of Europe's leading motorcycle tyre brands. Whether you ride on the trails, enduro, on the road or on adventures, Mitas have the tyres for you. If they're good enough for the likes of Chris Birch and Paul Tarris, they're good enough for me and our Noel. For more information, go to mitas-moto.com. Go the distance with Mitas tyres.
Hello and welcome to the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast with me, Clive Barber, and my good mate, Noel Tom. For the days when you can't ride your bike, there's always the Trail and Adventure Motorbike Podcast.
Hello everybody, we're back recording again. In fact, I've been recording, I just haven't had time to edit. As you probably know, we've just delivered our first Adventure Motorcycle Film Festival in the Brewery Arts Centre in Kendal, and the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. So if you did go, I hope you had a fantastic time there. If you didn't go, we've created a YouTube site and we're trying to link to as many as the films that we can that we showed. We showed 12 films. There were 52 films submitted. There were 12 selected for the day, and then 8 also got an honourable mention, so we'll try and link to those too, so you can watch them at your leisure at home. And the good news is the feedback was so positive, even the venue liked what we did, so we will be back next year, barring any disasters. The date we're thinking of, or the weekend we're thinking of, is the weekend of Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of February 2027. So put that in your diary, make sure you come along. We're going to try and make it better. We'll have a bigger sort of a party night on the Friday night, a separate venue. We're probably going to run the event over the whole day, space it out a little bit more, make some more time for chatting, get some bigger breaks so we can all go out and get some food, maybe get a couple of food trucks on site, hopefully get a whole bunch more sponsors. So if you are interested in attending the event and showing your wares, please give us a shout and we'll work something out for you. Before we go any further, I just wanted to recognise my partner in all things film festival, and that's Simon Josie from the Real Riders podcast. It was an absolute pleasure doing this with, I was going to say working with Simon. It wasn't really work, was it? We're just organising a bit of fun. But it was absolutely brilliant working with Simon, and we're very different people, but between us, I think we created something that lots of people enjoyed. Thanks to Noel, obviously, for turning up and asking some questions on the day. It's always a pleasure. Big thanks to the staff at the brewery. They were great. And a really big thank you to our sponsors in Adventure Spec, Mitas Tyres. No, they're not called that. It's one or the other. You choose. And Ethos Supply, who are a cafe in the northeast. And then one final thank you. You've all seen the amazing pictures that we've been posting on our social media. Massive thank you to Jason Keffert, who is a professional photographer and came along and did our photos purely for the fun of the event. Sorry, there are 2 more people to thank. That's my son, Archie Barber, cameraman extraordinaire, and Rupert Jordan, other cameraman extraordinaire, who took a load of video stuff, which Simon is currently editing, so we should be able to release a nice short video showing you what you missed. A huge congratulations to all the filmmakers that made the final 12, and a special thank you to the 5 directors that actually made it to the event. We will be following up with each of them, trying to get them all on the podcast. I think what we'll probably do is Simon and I will do a joint podcast with as many of the directors that we can get, which includes the likes of Fortnine, Revzilla, Mike Smith, Danny Lilwall, Nick Jacobs, just to name but a few. I probably shouldn't have named just a few. I should probably wait and then just name them all. But yeah, I look forward to chatting to all those guys and girls on the podcast. Thanks, guys. Right, let's get on with the episode. So this episode I recorded, I don't know, it feels like weeks ago, 6 weeks ago or something like that, with the very lovely Mr. Fish. You won't believe his real name. It's even more ridiculous. I'll let him tell you in a minute. So yeah, I met Mr. Fish at the ABR a good few years ago and we got on really well. So it's taken this long to actually have a proper chat with him, and very enjoyable it was too. In fact, I had to delete a lot of it because we were just shooting the breeze about life and a variety of things. What is left is really good, interesting stuff. We talk about small bikes and we talk about mental health and Dulwich Hamlet Football Club, but not for long. Let's get on with it.
We all started back on smaller bikes, because they weren't really a thing, were they? Adventure bikes. You had XT500s and stuff like that that used to go about, but the mainstream, they weren't really about. I used to work in, I don't know if you heard of it, Motorcycle City. I shouldn't really admit that. And they convinced me to get the Ducati 750 SS because I had my eye on an Africa Twin, the 750, that was sitting in the showroom because I'm 6'2". It's a bike that fitted. We used to sell Kawasaki, KTM, Suzuki, Yamaha, Moto Guzzi, and a few others. But it was only the KTM and the Africa Twin that I actually could fit on. So the KTM was, I think it was a
640?
It might have been a 640, but you remember the really, really tall Dakar kind of ones?
Yeah, I do.
It was one of those, and that was in the window. It hasn't changed because back then they were going, don't buy it. You're not going to get round the block. And that was 25 years ago. So then I was looking at the Africa Twin, and they convinced me not to get it. So I ended up buying a Ducati Super Sport. If only I'd known and kept it, it'd be worth a fortune now.
They're big money, aren't they, nowadays?
Yeah, I would like one. I still like one. It's one of those dream bikes that got away.
I look back at all the bikes I've owned, and it's not actually been that many because I tend to keep them. And I just kind of wish I just kept everything I've ever had, really.
Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Just to have a big warehouse full of everything.
If I win the lottery, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to open a motorcycle museum, but it'll just be my personal collection to go and ride whenever I want.
Just you people turn up. Can I have a look? No. It's not for viewing pleasure. It's for my pleasure.
You can have a look through the window and fuck off. So, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck am I? That's a good question. That's something I've been asking myself for years. I'm a guy that rides motorbikes and talks absolute nonsense, I suppose, on that YouTube thing. I suppose I've got a little bit of Instagram. And what's the other one? The old people one? Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Bit of a social media thing. Just ride around, dicking around on bikes. That's my life. And that's how people might know me as Mr. Fish.
Dicking around on bikes. You've got something like 30,000 followers on YouTube, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's just come over 30,000 at the moment. Which is not bad considering I haven't made a video for about a month. Been really lazy.
And you've just started something really good on Instagram. Going to take off, I reckon. You've got the Adventure Bike Hotline. That is a rich vein to tap, I think. I think that'll be very popular, and you're doing a good job of that.
Well, I hope so. I think I've done about 6 or 7 of them so far. Only little reels on Instagram, but I think they've got around 1 million views.
Seriously?
Yeah, so it's not doing bad. The biggest one's got about 310,000 views. Hello there, and welcome to the How Can I Look Cool on a Motorcycle helpline. How can I help you today? Yes, sir, we can do that for you, no problem. Bike specific is one of our specialities. What have you got? KTM, beautiful. I do like a KTM. Yep, fantastic. So you need some advice? Yeah, no problem. We can help you out with that. What we would suggest here is orange. Yeah, mainly orange. Yeah, wheel rims, orange. Foot pegs, orange. Yeah, chain sprocket, orange. Handlebars, anodized orange. Yeah, and if you've got any clothing, if it's got orange in it, that'll be fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, you've got this by now. Oh, and the seat, that has to be black. No, just kidding. Orange. Yeah, brilliant. And have you got little stickers? Have you got little KTM stickers or big KTM stickers? You have. Fantastic. You're well ahead of the game. Right, you need to stick those on all the vehicles. And if you've got a van, stick your little KTM stickers on the van. That way, people know you're kind of serious about off-road. And seeing as your bike's going to spend most of its time in the back of a van, you might as well do that as well. Yeah, I know. Oh, also, a good tip, get yourself a gym membership. Yeah, because you need to be strong because you're going to be pushing the bike quite a bit. Yeah. Hello? Dave? We've lost another one. It's just stuff that sits in my head that is always there that just makes me laugh about certain little things. Biking's a fun thing, isn't it? That's what we're all in it for. But it kind of takes itself a little bit too seriously sometimes, and people take it too seriously sometimes. So it's just pointing out some things that just amuse me, basically, just make me giggle. I'm probably guilty of doing quite a lot of them as well myself. And every time I'm doing it, I'm laughing at myself.
Well, there's a rich vein there, isn't there, really? You've done, like, cruisers, you've done adventure bike riders. There's so many other things, like you can get into GS riders, you can get into CRF riders, you can get into monkey bike riders, all that kind of thing.
I might tap into that specifically in the future, because once you start going specific for bikes, you get a lot of abuse. The internet's full of abuse. I found in the past that Harley Davidson owners tend to give me the most abuse. I was in America and I had one of their bikes. I'd actually hired a GS, but it wasn't ready, so they gave me that for the day. So I did a little review on it, saying it's probably the worst bike I've ever ridden in my life. And it was up to that point. I've ridden the worst one since, but that was the worst bike I've ever ridden. Oh my God, the abuse I got. And I've never got abuse from any other owner of any other bike that I've said, I don't really like this too much.
Tell us about your biking history. How did you get into bikes? Were you a family of bikers?
I didn't get in through my dad. My dad used to ride for the post office, as he liked to call himself, a professional rider. You just rode bikes, Dad. So he used to talk about them. When my mum and dad split up, I lived in Northampton, so he used to take me up to Silverstone. So we'd watch all the racing cars and bikes, and I always liked the bikes. And then my stepdad also had a bike that he used to keep in the hallway for some reason. We only had a tiny house, so we'd have to climb over it to get out of the door. And then I wasn't allowed a bike. I think they were really bad at riding, so they kept falling off a lot. Fast forward a few many years, and they would have been absolutely right. Yeah, I got into it because I couldn't afford a car. Do you remember Thomas?
The little scooters, yeah. TOMOS.
They're the ones. They were sold out the back of a catalogue.
I didn't know that.
And my friend bought one, but was never allowed to ride it. So then I bought it off of him. So that's how I got into like two wheels. I wouldn't call it motorcycling. I was riding around on that for ages. I actually broke that trying to clear a tabletop on a BMX track.
Obviously.
I didn't even realise you needed tax or MOTs or insurance or anything like that until a policeman pulled me over and asked me about tax and insurance. And I was like, what's that? It's like you need tax and you need insurance.
How old were you at this point?
I was probably 18. It was a bit different back then. He just sort of like gave me a clip round the back of the head. Get home. I don't want to see you out until you've got it again. Kind of got rid of that. And after that, I got into cars for a little bit, but then got back into the bikes, and I've had a lot of bikes. Do you want a list?
We'll just have some highlights from your list.
Highlights, obviously, the first bike, which would be the DR125S, which is kind of a trail bike. Never did any trails, just lived in the urban jungle, trying to wheel in and impress girls. That never went well. After that, I went straight from that to the Ducati 750 SS. That was meant to be restricted because I worked in the motorcycle industry. It was just signed off as restricted, so it was full power. Yeah, I crashed that, obviously. After that, 1200 Bandit. So I go up and down. I like small bikes and I like big bikes. Then went back to a Gilera 180 two-stroke scooter.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Today's exciting episode is brought to you by Adventure Specs Super Shirt 2.0. 2.0? Yep, it's a new version. It's got the flow armour, which is a lot more breathable, and yet it's still CE AA rated. So it gives you both impact protection and abrasion resistance.
It's an absolute game changer.
It is actually, because you completely forget you've got it on. The armour's really soft. I even find myself checking to see if I've actually remembered to put it on sometimes.
It still feels wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But it's the first thing I put on for all motorcycling activities, basically. I even wore it and you mocked me when we were doing some trials practice.
Thank God you were wearing it that day, because I don't think you'd be with us today if you hadn't been wearing it when you got on the trials bike.
It wasn't that bad. It's even been crash tested on an actual human, which I don't think any other garment has ever been tested that way.
They threw a man down a runway wearing one, didn't they?
It's actually quite scary to watch, but he came away unscathed, which is pretty good news.
What do you wear over the top of yours?
Well, you know I'm a bit of a hipster, so it's usually a check shirt and a very long beard.
Just something to hide the coffee stains?
Yes, the very rare blend espressos that I normally drink.
Nice.
So there are sizes for all from small to, I think, triple XL. It's quite stretchy as well, so it'll fit women, and it fits fatties like me too. To get your super shirt, head to adventurespec.com.
I'm Austin Vince, and in 1995, me and some buddies set out to motorcycle around the world on a trip we called Mondo Enduro. We thought it would be terribly difficult, but it turned out it wasn't. Ultimately, we were the first group to trail ride across Siberia's Zilov Gap, and then also the first crew to ride the Road of Bones to Magadan. And we did it on second-hand 350cc trail bikes without the internet, mobile phones, or GPS. Motorcycling around the world was the defining experience of my life, and I knew I wanted to share that fun. So now I teach the DIY lo-fi Mondo ethos by taking people on miniature expeditions in the Spanish Pyrenees. If you think that sounds like fun, you'd be right. So come on.
You can find lots more information at austinvince.com. For those watching in black and white, I'm shaking my head in mild wonder.
Yeah, it was one of the fastest things I've ever had through London. It's just insane. I crashed that, gave up for a little bit. There's going to be a theme to this, is crashing. Then I went kind of normal bikes, SV650s, back to another scooter, 600 Silverwing. I should probably get to where the adventure bike stuff kind of started, really.
Your little photo tile on YouTube, it looks like you're cranking a massive sports bike over at some track somewhere. Did you ever do the massive sports bike thing?
I was doing a review for the new, the Fireblade Triple RRR 200 and, was it 17 brake horsepower thing?
I know they exist. I don't really know them.
I had to put a camera on the front facing back because every time I opened the throttle, I couldn't put it on as a review because it was just like if I had point of view, in first gear, you're breaking the law instantly. It just happened to come out as a nice little picture. So I've never done a track day. Never, ever done a track day. My first ADV bike was the Tenere 660. Remember those?
Yeah, of course.
After watching, of course,
The Long Way Round.
Charlie. I mean, as much as we like to sort of like dump on them a bit, they did start it all.
Well, this is the point I always make, because everybody's quite rude. Not everybody's rude about them, but they really did kick off the adventure motorbike scene. They made it a thing, even though Austin and Mary Sevier were doing it years and years before them. It wasn't widely known about, was it really, as a thing you can do?
I watched the Austin. I've got both the DVDs here. Was it Mondo Enduro and Mondo Sahara, probably? So I watched them, but Austin Vince is not relatable to me. I'm not saying that the bloke that played Obi-Wan Kenobi is, but...
Choose your side. It's got to be one or the other.
I just related more to the way that was done. Although I enjoyed Mondo Enduro and I get the small bike thing, I just don't know, I found it more relatable. I think because I just wanted to be followed around the world with a big truck with all the support on and everything, so if it did go bad, as you develop, you realise, actually, I'd rather do it alone.
What's in the garage now and why the fascination with small bikes?
At the moment, I've got the Super Cub 125, CRF250 Rally, I've got CL500 and NX500. It's not that I have a fascination with small bikes. I love small bikes and I love big bikes. I've had big bikes, but they don't really do anything for me in the UK. I think the roads are so bad, and the roads I ride are all the tiny little B lanes, the little country lanes, the farm tracks, and they're just too much for what we have here, in my opinion. Probably due to my skill set. Before this lot, I had 3 Africa Twins. So I had the CRF1000, I had the 1100 DCT and the Adventure Sport DCT. And I just figured green laning on the Adventure Sport is like I'm wrecking an £18,000 motorcycle. And I can quite easily wreck a £5,000 one. It doesn't hurt as much.
I watched a video recently of you with Bruce Teapot One and Richie Vida, and you all set off on tiny bikes. I think you and Richie both were on a Cub 125, and Bruce was reviewing some Chinese 125.
He was on a Sinis.
I do like the way you do your vlogs, because you're fairly selective about what you put in the video. I think you did a 3-day trip, and the video's only about 20 minutes long, so it's kind of the highlights. But basically, you are giggling like a small child for the whole 20 minutes of that video, because you're all having so much fun.
It is. They're brilliant. I mean, that was a brainchild. I had 2 weeks off, so I said to Bruce, I'm going to go to, I forget where I said I was going to go to, Snowdonia, I think it was. I'm going on the Super Cup. So he's like, oh, I think I've got some time off then. I'll see if I can get something from Sinis. So Sinis said he'd give him a 125. And then we said, we'll go up and see Richie. And then Richie texts me before we was going up. And he said, I've been in touch with Honda. He said, don't tell anyone. He said, but they're going to give me a Super Cub as well. So we went up there, and it was just from start to finish an absolute blast. And at probably no point were we breaking the speed limit. Although I did get, I think it was 72 on the clock coming down Snowdonia on the Super Cub. But it was just immense fun. I mean, because we're all far too big for these bikes.
I'm the same height as you, and I sat on a Super Cub at this year's NEC bike show. I think you said you've got very long thighs, but I just thought, I just don't fit on this.
No, I don't fit on it. I'm not saying at any point do I look good on my Super Cub. I'm quite aware I look like a gorilla on a tricycle.
It wasn't just about looking good. It's just like, I just couldn't ride this for very long. And yet you were doing presumably quite long days.
Yeah, I think we did 1,000 miles in 3 days or something like that, 4 days. I couldn't walk for a week, but we did it.
But the novelty didn't wear off.
No, I've still got it. I'd never sell it. I almost bought another one.
Yeah, because you need to.
This is how my head thinks. I'm going to have a custom Cub and I'm going to have a travel Cub. Like that's such a thing. I was going to put off-road tyres on my normal one because last year I almost took it to the ABR, but I got talked out of it by everyone that was going because they didn't want to ride with me. I'd have to leave on the Wednesday.
So your name, Mr. Fish, that's not your real name.
How can you tell?
Just guessing. You weren't in Marillion.
I've just got that reference then.
Took a while, but you got there in the end.
So dip back into the 80s.
So do you have a first name?
Yeah, it's John.
Do you have an actual surname?
Surname is, funny enough, Haddock.
I can see why you changed it to Fish then, for fuck's sake.
Well, at school they called me Fish. Everyone called me Fish. So obviously I grew up a little bit, so it's Mr. Fish, isn't it? So it's just a nickname I've always had.
I don't know anybody else called Haddock.
It's Captain. Go in any fish and chip shop, you see it on the board.
I suppose so.
If you go to America, there's loads of us.
Is there?
Evidently, we were on the Mayflower. Is that the ship that went over?
I think it was. What sort of riding do you do? I know that you were heading to Wales on your Cub. What other type of riding do you do?
I do all sorts, really. Green laning, off-roading, road riding. I never go anywhere fast. I like to go and explore and have a little look round and see where stuff goes. And you see a turn in, what's up there? Let's go and have a look. I mean, it gets you in trouble sometimes and it leads you to places you probably shouldn't be. Not illegally, just for your own safety. I've done a few, I almost felt like I was in Vietnam now, I was going to say. I've done a few tours. I've done America a couple of times. I've done the whole of the UK, done the Wales, done Scotland. It's basically just whatever I fancy at the time, I go depending on the bike I'm on and then go and do it. So I'll do the green laning on the 250 Rally. That's been set up primarily for just all off-road.
Are you relatively new to off-roading, or is that something you've always done?
I only started when I bought the 250, which was 2018. It was the first time I did off-roading. I was going to do it on the Tenere 660, but I managed to crash and kill myself a little bit on that and ended up in hospital, so I gave up biking altogether. So that was the end of my round-the-world adventure. I think it got about 5 miles from my house and ended up in St George's Hospital.
Serious injury, or?
Yeah, punctured lungs, broken ribs, collarbone torn out the back. I think I died, they said, for 2 minutes or something like that.
Really? What happened?
I was following a car. He was doing 30 and a 40, so I was just sat behind him. And then he got to a 30. He went down to 20. Completely straight road, 4 houses on one side, no turn-ins. Went to overtake him. One of the houses was his. He just turned straight into it, clipped my back wheel. I went over the handlebars, and as I went, he kind of accelerated. This is what they told me, straight into a wall that was about 8 foot. Thank God it had dodgy pointing.
So you were between the car and the wall?
The bike and the wall. I went over the front of the bike and kind of got squashed.
Well, it's a good job you weren't actually going that fast, I suppose, because that could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Either side, they had no wall. The 2 houses either side had nice flat grass gardens. This guy, for some reason, decided to build an 8-foot wall around his house and then tried to sue me for the wall.
So we met about 4 or 5 years ago, didn't we, at ABR?
I think it was 22. I like the ABR. It is good fun. I hate camping, but it is good fun.
See, I don't mind camping. I quite happily camp. In fact, I reckon I sleep better in my tent than anywhere else, probably because I'm always really drunk.
That does help.
Talk to us a little bit about your YouTube channel. What sort of things do you do? Because I've got fairly strong opinions about moto vlogging.
Well, I don't know what to say now. You got me nervous. Is it a motovlog channel? I suppose it is a motovlogging channel. It's basically me talking crap, isn't it? Riding a bike. That is a motovlogging channel.
Well, it says on your channel that you're a moto vlogger stroke vlogger.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. That thumbnail or whatever you call the intro is probably, 5-6 years old now. I am, because I'm not a bike reviewer. As I said, I just dick around on motorcycles, talk a lot of nonsense, film it and put it up. It's more like an old school slideshow for myself to see what I've been up to. And so every now and again I get reviews and I do reviews, but I don't seek them out, or I don't seek stuff out to put on there. I just see what happens, go with the flow, and then we end up here.
My strong views on vlogs is most people, it's just POV shooting, isn't it? If they've been on a 3-day trip, the video is 3 days long.
I couldn't do that to anyone.
So I actually do watch your stuff quite often, actually, because it is quite entertaining, because you are funny, you are good at it, and you also edit it really well. So it's not just a stream of conscious and quiet and silence. And so you are actually quite entertaining.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You wouldn't be here otherwise.
I don't like long, boring videos either. Not saying that mine are short and exciting, but I cut the middle bits out. I don't like ums and ahs and pauses. I like music in my videos as well. I like to put music in them just to sort of like make them entertaining for myself. It's not even that I think I'm going to get more views. It's just that I enjoy watching it or editing it.
Well, that's the thing. You ask yourself, why do we do any of this stuff? And it's because we enjoy it. We get to meet people. We've met through you doing your stuff and me doing my stuff. And we've made a connection and we chat fairly regularly on Instagram or whatever, and I don't know, it's just good fun, isn't it?
Well, that's it. You've got to get to that kind of psyche through it. If you treat it like a job, it's gonna kill you from the inside out. It's gonna drive you mad. You start chasing numbers, it's insane, because you've got to treat it like a hobby. And if it's a hobby, you enjoy it. As soon as you start chasing stuff, it then becomes a job, and then you realise you're well below minimum wage. So what's the point of doing it? It's true what you say, though, is the people you meet. It's like yourself. Bruce, I met through YouTube. Richie, I met through YouTube. A lot of the people I go riding with, I met through YouTube. Some of the events and places I've been invited to, it was all through the social media stuff. So there is a good side to social media. I know it's not advertised a lot, especially the motorcycle community on the social media is pretty decent. Everyone's pretty friendly and nice. There's not too many backstabbers. I'm not saying there aren't any. It's not like another genre, let's say.
I don't know Richie, but I know Bruce, and what you see of Bruce is exactly the way he is, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
He's been really helpful to me when I was kind of setting up the podcast with advice and things like that. Yeah, he's a really good guy.
He's 100% genuine. Same with Richie. They're probably my two best mates in this YouTube, apart from a guy called, I don't even know, Hippodrones.
Oh, yes. He was in one of your videos recently, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy as well. But Richie is as nice as he comes across, which is really annoying. Annoys the hell out of myself and Bruce. It's like, he's going to slip up one day. Can't be this nice all the time. But he's kept it going for about 7 years, so he's doing all right.
One thing you do talk about quite a bit is mental health, your own, and you often sign off on your Instagram things as your mind, your rules. You're quite big into supporting people with mental health problems, which we all have.
100%. Again, I think it's coming from the bike community as well. We're all tough guys, aren't we? But it's men's mental health. It's not given enough credence. In life, basically, we're all told to man up, toughen up. How do you toughen up a brain? Brains are all the same. You can't go down the gym for a brain. So, and your mind, your rules is like, I don't know whether someone said it to me or it was just in a conversation where I think I said, well, it's my mind, it's my rules. If you've got a problem, you've got the problem. But if you start focusing on the problem, your mind's now escalating the problem. So you've kind of got two problems then, instead of just the one. Because the problem's the problem. But if your mind's playing tricks on you and escalating it all over the place, then the problem's got bigger for no reason. So it was a case of, can you do something about it? Yes, no. No. And then I've got another saying, if it's no, you put it in the fuck it bucket and move on. Can you do something about it? Yes. Right. Do something about it. Or are you going to do something about it? Are you going to do something about it? Yes or no? No. Put it in the fuck it bucket and move on. Yes. Do something about it then. And it's just the little steps like that. One problem at a time, because what we do, it's everyone that does it. We put all our problems into one basket and then we got this massive problem. 9 times out of 10, it's a series of tiny little problems. So just chip away at them. Don't let your mind take over the problem. That's the ethos behind that kind of thing.
It's that thing at 4 o'clock in the morning, isn't it, when you wake up needing a piss at our age. 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 1
Every
o'clock.
other hour.
Yeah. That's when you start going over things. And what I actually do now is I've got a Kindle, which I just kind of lay on the bedside next to me, so I can just, instead of focusing on worrying about things, I just actually read the book, and I just usually read myself back to sleep. Both you and I had a bit of I mean, I haven't talked about this on the podcast because I'm a bloke, right, and we don't really talk about it, but funnily enough, not long after I'd interviewed Paul from Mental Health Motorbike, I realised that I was having some issues. I just got to the stage with work that I realised I just couldn't do anything. Having a family with 3 kids and a wife, a job, even, the podcast stuff I was doing, it was just constantly demand. And we had some shit luck privately with the dog died. There were some other family issues, not with my immediate family. It took up an awful lot of time and brain space. And I ended up that I just thought, I can't do anything. So I ended up getting myself signed off work for, it was 3 months in the end, and it was with anxiety disorder.
Right, yeah.
So I've never really had anything like that. It wasn't depression, because I didn't feel depressed. I just couldn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, it all becomes too much. It becomes one massive cloud in your head, and it's like you don't know where to start. That's the problem, is where to start.
Well, exactly. And I was at the stage where I'm the guy that everybody comes to for help and advice, and I just had to say to everybody, can you just stop ringing me up and asking me things? I just can't fucking deal with it.
Just fuck off and leave me alone for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I've always thought of myself as, I don't get depressed generally, but yeah, it hit me like a cricket back round the head, really. It was quite a scary thing.
Well, that's the thing. You can train your body to be anything. You can go to the gym, you can do everything, but everyone neglects the head, don't they? Where's the training for that? All you're told as a bloke growing up, especially at our age and especially in biking, is just like, man up. That's all you ever hear, which is one of the most annoying sayings I think I've ever heard, especially from people. It's weird. You get it from people that you could slap around quite easily. It's like, because your brain's all muddled or you're in a fuzz, they seem to forget that everything else is still functioning.
You're probably in a really dangerous state at that point.
This is not the point where you want to poke the bear kind of thing. You know what I mean? This is where you want to go, do you want to chat? Do you want to talk? You know what I mean? Not man up. It's bizarre. Blokes are so weird sometimes. Some of the stuff I hear come out of men's mouths, honestly being one, you're like, really? What's that film with Monty Python? It's just a flesh wound. It's that sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you had a bit of a shit year. I assume you're happy to talk about it because you posted a video about it.
It was a weird year, more than shit. It was a shit year, not knowing why it was a shit year, if that makes sense. It had no reason to be. It started off fantastic. I was going out, travelling, doing stuff. And I think the Welsh trip, for some reason, it took me into, not because I went to Wales before anyone gets on that track. It was straight after the ABR, and I had heat stroke at the ABR on the Saturday, I think it was. And then I went home Sunday, and Tuesday I was due to go to Wales, and I felt really, really ill. So I thought, I'm not going to Wales. And then I got to midday, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going. I booked a few hotels, I'm going. And I had a really good time for the first 4 or 5 days. But because ABR was about 30 degrees, wasn't it? Boiling this year. But by the time I got to day, I think it was the Saturday on Wales, I had my mesh jacket on and a hoodie, and it was 9 degrees. How did I go from 30 to 9 in 5 days? I felt really ill from heat stroke. So I came home, and it's like, right, I've come home, I feel really rough, I feel really ill. I've still got to finish editing that, by the way. I've got one more video to edit on that. That was in June. And then I never did another trip for the whole year. I haven't done anything for that whole year. Every time I planned something not went wrong, but something got in the way. So I never got the therapy, I think. And then in my home life, nothing bad happened, but I had a very, I think this is going to sound really weird, very lonely year. I felt isolated a little bit because I live on my own. So you would feel lonely if you live on your own. The imaginary friends had left me by that point. And then I had someone, I'm a train driver, underground train driver. I think the tipping point was I came into a station and there was a guy that had fallen on the track.
Oh,
I don't know whether he jumped down to get something or fell on it because he was drunk. So as I've come in, I've hit all the emergency systems we got on the train till it hit the brakes.
Wow.
And I lost sight of him, but he managed to scramble to the platform. And I think I caught the bottom of his feet or just skimmed the bottom of his feet as he got onto the platform as I went one carriage past him. And I felt fine. I mean, I opened the door. Can you swear on here?
Yeah.
You might have to bleep this one out. I opened the door, and my words to him was, "Are you some kind of cunt?"
Jesus.
Because it's just an adrenaline moment. So I just absolutely, he just looked at me and walked off anyway. He was so drunk, he just didn't know what was going on. I don't think he knew how close he was to death. So I went back, and it's one of the managers said to me, "You're shaking." And I had no idea. I said, "No, I'm all right." They said, "No, you're shaking. Have a cup of coffee, sit down, and then make yourself chill out and then go home." So I went, "No worries." So I got on the bike and I went down to Brighton for my dinner in the evening because I only live about 30 miles up from Brighton. So I thought I'd go down there. Went to Brighton, had a nice meal in the evening, just sitting down on the seafront. Came home, had an absolute meltdown. Absolute, like sobbing. But I had no idea why. And I did this for 3 days in a row.
Wow.
Just every evening, just sat there, sobbed.
Did you ever think about manning the fuck up?
Yeah. I looked in the mirror, went, "Oi, you, man the fuck up."
That sounds like a type of PTSD or something like that.
Well, that's exactly what was put to me by a friend of mine. Hippodromes was a guy that really helped me out in this. Not diagnosed, but it was PTSD. And the way they turned it round was, instead of you nearly killed someone, you saved their life. By hitting all the emergency systems when I did, meant he had the time to get out of the way. Whereas if I'd have done it 1 meter later, I would have just wiped him out. So it's getting that, again, it's that mind thing of getting it to think in a different way. Rather than you nearly killed someone, you saved someone's life. And it's such a different thought process for the same incident. And then that's what kind of dragged me out for whatever, I suppose the word, what's the word people use, funk, whatever they call it, that dark cloud that was over me that I had no idea what it was. I knew work was pissing me off, but no more than work normally pisses people off.
How do you tell? Because, life is stressful. Job stress, financial worries. It's a fairly constant thing, isn't it? So how do you know when you've actually tipped over the edge? That's one thing I don't quite understand. And I think as men, we tend to reach the tipping point and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Every now and again, you need your mate to just say, "Are you all right, mate? Are you okay?" That's all it needs. I don't know if you've seen that advert of the football supporters. Fantastic. That's one of the best examples of it. We don't ask each other enough. It's really, and I don't know why. I don't know why that people see it as a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength.
When you do talk about it, everybody's got a story, haven't they, of when it happened to them.
Yeah, it keeps the channel going, or it makes me motivated to keep the channel going because I get a lot of messages from guys that are in the same kind of situation at me, my age, divorced, living on their own, and they're going through the same stuff. So it's nice that someone can talk about it.
You became a granddad, though, didn't you, recently?
Yeah, last July.
Congratulations, Gramps.
Thanks. That's what I'm actually called, Gramps.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I call myself.
That. Are you all right talking about your daughter and her famous husband?
Yeah.
But I got a message from my oldest son going, "Do you know this guy?" I was going, "Well, sort of. I've met him a few times. We chat on Instagram." And he went, "Fucking hell." And I'm going, "Why?" And he went, "Well, do you know who his daughter is?" "No." "And do you know who she's married to?" He showed me pictures and went, "No, sorry, still don't know."
Yeah, that's it. None of your listeners are going to know.
My 3 young sons were just utterly impressed. But your daughter is a reasonably well-known performer, isn't she? Singer.
She is. Singer, songwriter, YouTuber, gamer, Instagrammer, full Monty. Talia, yeah.
Talia, and that's her stage name as well, isn't it, Talia?
Talia, yeah, because her real name's Natalia. So
okay.
Talia.
Right, you named her after a hazelnut chocolate-based spread.
Yeah, Nutella. Yeah, she got called that a few times at school. I did regret that. Both my daughters dropped the haddock really quick. They came to me and went, "Dad, do you mind if we..." I said, "No, go for it. I've had enough abuse for all of us. Don't worry about it."
And she is married to a very, very famous YouTuber. I guess they're some of the biggest YouTube stars in the world, aren't they?
Yeah, in the world. They're definitely the biggest in the UK, I think. Yeah.
But again, no point in mentioning the name because nobody will have heard of them.
So yeah, but anyone under the age of 30.
You're a bit of a musician, aren't you? Or are you just a drummer? What, you can't be both?
Oh, that's harsh. I'm a drummer and gospel singer.
Oh, you sing as well?
No, I just made that bit up. I'm just a drummer. Sorry.
And you used to play football, didn't you?
Sort of.
Did you actually live in Dulwich as well, East Dulwich?
Yeah, off of Lordship Lane.
That's where we lived as well. We were on Landcroft Road. But you played for Dulwich Hamlet?
Not for their first team. They're 7-a-side, kind of mucking around. I wasn't Peter Crouch level. No, it's always been a ground that I've always played for them, supporters club and everything.
You seem to have a very good relationship with Doughballs as well, the famous Coulston dealership.
It's a weird one. I know the people that work there. One of the guys that used to run the clothing I used to work with when I was in the motorcycle industry. The guy that does the finance used to work in the same shop as me 25 years ago. Kind of got into Doughballs because they've always done me, before I did any of this social media stuff, they've always done me good deals, better deals than all the other bike shops around the area. So I tended to go back there anyway. So then you just become friends with them. And the general manager's a good mate now, I'd say. So they look after me. I sell loads of bikes for them by doing videos. It's kind of a win-win situation. And I happen to like Hondas, or I happen to like pushing my bikes.
What's next for Mr. Fish and the channel?
One, I've got to start doing videos again. That's always a good start.
I've not wanted to ride for about the last 8 weeks. It's been miserable.
Well, last week I was going to go to Cornwall on the Super Cup, but I woke up on a Sunday and it was just covered in ice. 4 days was just outside my house. It's just like an ice rink. So I thought, well, I'm not going Cornwall. So then I went and bought an electric mountain bike, as you do. So I'm going to be doing that, getting fit, but that's not going to be channel stuff. That might be Instagram. Motorcycle-wise, the only thing I have got booked up this year is the ABR. Nothing else I've got planned. But then most of my trips kind of develop probably around March, April. Because my birthday is at the beginning of March, to me, the world doesn't start till then. January the 1st till my birthday in March is just non-existent. It's pointless. I suppose being a bike rider, that's when we start planning.
Because my birthday is in March too. And I will be celebrating my birthday on the TAMP podcast trip to Morocco. You should come to that.
See, that's better. I went to Gran Canaria last year on my birthday with Canary. I was trying to think what they're called, Canary Motorcycle Tours. I went and done a few days with them. Just flew over and tagged on one of their tours, and that was a good way to do it. But this year, no plans. I want to maybe either do Ireland, because I've done the whole of England, or I want to find an interesting route, which is going to be difficult, through the middle of the UK. Yeah, I saw the face there.
Speaking of somebody who is from the Midlands.
Yeah, I'm not saying going through the Midlands. Let's just skip that bit. Because every time I do something, it's always coast-based. There's got to be something in the middle that we're all missing. I mean, it could be the worst trip I've ever planned in my life. And it's going to be the dullest video tour series you'll ever see. It's just me riding around going, for fuck's sake. I don't know whether you've got Moto or one of those heat map kind of things, but my heat map has got nothing straight down the middle, apart from when I go to Rich's, which is in Derbyshire. So that's it. So every time I've planned a trip, it's kind of been out to the coast and then back in. But I would like to I'd like to revisit Scotland. I'd like to revisit Wales and just really zoom in and do some strange roads. I don't like doing what tourists do. I like just getting lost, which is quite often. This is how bad I am. I only realised how stupid I am probably last week watching a video about someone. You know, you get are they Garmin spots, the trackers? I was watching a little video on one of those, and I thought, I rode through a desert without anything. What's the one in California, Mojave Desert? Something like that. I was going down to San Diego, and I was riding next to the desert, kind of through the main roads through the desert, and I just saw this little track, and I was on a Triumph Tiger 800. So I thought, sod it, I got up there. So I spent the next 4 hours riding through sand. I went past this little ghost town, just riding through sand, got the bike stuck a couple of times hold on, let me sound adventure-y now, in the Fishs. Yeah, you can tell I've just watched the Dakar, can't you? Yeah, so I got it stuck a couple of times, pushed it, and then walked it sweating, got it out the other side, and I stayed about 4 miles, rejoined the road, off I went. This was 2018 I did this, and it was only like probably a month ago I realised if I'd have crashed and broken my leg or something, I'd still be there. I'd be dead. That's my problem. I see a road and I go. But it works fine over here because someone's always going to find you. Maybe not in Scotland, but someone's always going to find you. But in the Mojave Desert, it doesn't work like that. It's a little bit different. I had Surrey Hills mentality in the desert.
It's true though, isn't it? Because a lot of people that do travel solo around the world, they're doing that on a daily basis. And it can go horribly wrong, but thankfully it doesn't very often.
But good luck to them. Have you ever had it riding over here? If you say, I'm going to go out on the bike off-road, and someone will go, shouldn't go off-roading alone.
I say it, but still do it.
But then how would you go around the world solo?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm too old. I think that's the thing, isn't it? You have to be young and have no concept of risk.
Have you not read, is it Simon Gandolfi?
Simon Gandolfi. I love Simon Gandolfi.
Yeah.
His
How old was
books
he?
are absolutely brilliant. 84, I think, and it was the last time I read something.
What did he do at CBF 125, something like that?
He was on a very small bike, wasn't he? Yeah.
What did he do? Alaska or wherever he was to Argentina? Yeah.
He's done everywhere, hasn't he? India, all sorts.
We all say these things, shouldn't do it, and then someone go, oh, I did it. You go, all right, there goes my theory.
Tell us the names of your YouTube and Instagram accounts so people can find them.
YouTube is Mr. Fish. The actual name of it is Chronicles of Mr. Fish. That's how it started, but I've abbreviated it now. I think you can find it just by typing in Mr. Fish and then looking for the one that's not the gangster, because there's a Mr. Fish gangster. That's not me. I'm the guy on the motorcycle. Instagram is official Mr. Fish, and Facebook is Chronicles of Mr. Fish.
Really good stuff. You'll enjoy it, and hopefully you carry on the helpline calls because they're really good. Can you take the piss out of BMW GS riders, please, next?
I'm sure I can find that in myself to do. I don't know whether I can start doing manufacturers.
Of course you can.
What I figured is no one's going to give me a bike for a review, so I might as well just go in on everyone.
Just don't do Hondas. You've got your pals at Doble still.
But this is the thing. I've done half the stuff on there. I'm taking a mickey out of myself as well.
Of course, yeah.
So, I mean, you've been to the ABR. You know when you get through the gates, you've got to stand up for the entire weekend. It's the law.
One time we were with Austin Vince, and as people were riding in, standing up, he'd every now and again, he'd just turn around and go, sit down! That's it, telling people to sit down.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I've got no problem with anyone doing anything. It just made me laugh. So then when I go with hippodromes, we won't sit down now. We are those guys that ride on the tarmac standing up.
Well, that was a lovely conversation. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I've got 2 more episodes on the hard drive, which I need to edit. And again, a couple of great guests. And then I'm starting to record again in late March because I'm off to Morocco on Monday for a week on the inaugural TAMP podcast Morocco tour. I think we probably need to advertise it a little bit earlier in the day for next year. That said, I think there are 11 of us going on that trip, so it should be still an awful lot of fun. All right, see you next time. Thanks for listening. We really do appreciate it. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and if you really appreciate what we do, please consider supporting us on either Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee. Links are available on our website, tampodcast.com, where you can also go to our store, that's a shop in English, and buy some branded stuff. Please keep listening and, more importantly, spreading the word. Right, that's it. Just a final word from one of our sponsors, and we'll see you next time. Are you heading out on an adventure? Whether you're tackling the Tet or hitting the green lanes, don't forget to pack the Pits and Bits Towel Off Body and Hair Wash range. It's the ultimate waterless wash. Just pour it on, rub it into a foam and towel it off. That's it. No water, no rinsing, no fuss. It's lightweight, smells amazing, and most importantly, it gets rid of mud, sweat and odours fast. Perfect for when you're off the beaten track. Stay fresh, go further, and do it all sustainably. Grab yours now at pitsandbits.co.uk, and don't forget to use the code TAMP, TAMP at checkout for a massive 20% off.